It's 20 years since Galileo won the Epsom Derby, a brilliant racehorse, now a phenomenal sire. I've come to Coolmore and Ballydoyle in County Tipperary to speak to Michael Cannan, Aidan O'Brien and John Magner, and to find out why is Galileo so extraordinary.
If you listen to the experts, the zoologists and all these various people, it's who passes that little bit of wood. That's where the Holy Grail is, really.
The great ones are always in control.
What an influence he has been on everybody's life here. We were just so lucky that he came along, really.
It's Galileo who's gone for home a furlong and a half out. He's kicked 3 lengths in front.
When he's surge, it's like driving a real good car with power. Once you put your foot down, it's there.
And Galileo is going to career away with the derby.
Those good ones, they have that.
It's very hard to believe it's 20 years ago. He came with a very big reputation. Physically, he was very, very different. He was very well proportioned. He had a very low head carriage, a great walk to him. I suppose in human terms, he was very, very genuine. Everything he did, he was very definite. His walk was definite and strong. His head was always out, low down, and he was always very genuine. As a physical specimen, he was probably the perfect racehorse. It's like when you'd see a human being walk across, you'd say, that person is very athletic or that person is not. He was very athletic. And Andy had the mind to go with it.
To win the Derby at Epsom, as opposed to anywhere else, you have to have speed. You have to be able to get a position, hold a position. You've got to be able to come down the hill. You've got to have balance. You've got to be able to finish. By its very nature, the horse that usually wins it will be good looking and usually with a good pedigree as well.
Ballydoyle was just starting to become a huge force, and Aidan hadn't won his Derby yet, so it was an important milestone for everybody. I was very confident. You know, he had done everything we wanted. I felt he was a very mature horse at that time, which is a big help.
The Epsom Derby means everything. It's the pinnacle of the classic horse's career. It's the ultimate test. Test balance, temperament, stamina, courage, everything. So we always felt to keep it as natural as possible rather than taking him into a stable and he hearing all the atmosphere outside. He was very intelligent. He liked to hear and see everything, and we were trying to really take as much pressure off him as we could. Like, he strolled around the parade ring, he strolled into the middle, and as we were tacking him up, I remember he was as calm. Like, it was very unusual. He stood and he watched everybody. He planted his 4 feet on the ground and he never moved them. It was very, very rare what happened, really, with the pressure that was on the horse.
It was new to the public to see that happening, not hiding him in a stall and saddling him, but it showed that Aidan was thinking outside the box, you know, and he's done it all since. Horses are happier outside looking around them, and their mind is focused on something else rather than getting too agitated inside in a 4x4, you know. So listen, when you walk into a parade ring prior to the Derby, there's a lot of nervousness and nervous tension in it, you know, so I can't appear to be nervous, but even though I might feel it inside, I have to show that I'm calm and everything's under control, whilst everybody around me might look very nervous. So, it's just part and parcel of the build-up. It's something you got to embrace, you know. He left the gates beautiful and got to the corner where I wanted to be, and in a nice position once we started to switch back across to the far rail. You get across there, you get there by about the 7 furlong marker. I think we climbed the best part of 100 feet to the 6 furlong gate, you know, so it's a huge climb, and if you're going to stride too fast, it's just you're expending a lot of energy, so it's important. Pace is important to get to that top of that hill without doing too much. He was able to coast down the hill, asked him to switch leads. He was just on rails. He was just so well balanced down around it that it was I've never ridden a horse since to be as well balanced as him. He was travelling well within himself, and he was always in control. The way he would quicken, I didn't feel anything was going to come and pick me up, but you always want to just get past the winner post, because it's never over until it's over. It's very seldom you go out in a major race where plan A just happens to be plan A, you know. You don't have to go to plan D. It's just poetry in motion, and it was on the day.
horses are like good wine. If you can get a good vintage, it's more likely to come from the Tattenham Corner area. It's a very unique race course, and it's a real test of a horse. They've got to be fast, they've got to be balanced, they've got to be good looking, otherwise they won't go down the hill. They've got to have a pedigree, they've got to have stamina, they've got to have everything.
Now, Galileo had all that, hadn't he?
Well, he had everything. He did what he was bred to do. And that's very unusual that you get a horse as well bred as him to actually dominate a race. Then the next thing that happened is he became a champion sire. Now, that's really impossible for all those things to happen. But the really reason why he's like a hen's tooth is that he became a sire of sires. And would you believe he now can top the broodmare sire list as well as his own list, and then the only opposition he has is from his sons. It's really, it's like getting struck by lightning. You just can't find a horse like him.
I remember the time when he said to me that he was going to cover all his mares with him. Like he everything that could go to Galileo was going to go. He put all his eggs in the one basket with him. Like, it was unbelievable.
He has sired 5 Derby winners already, John, and this year's race, his hoof prints are all over the race. It's incredible.
Yeah, when we thought we had Sadler's Wells, we thought that it would never happen again. And lo and behold, the cavalry just came at the right time. So we're hoping for a repeat.
Galileo is the ultimate horse, the ultimate racehorse, the ultimate stallion. He's the ultimate influence on pedigrees and will be for a long, long time, for generations and generations.